All right, today we're going to dive into the shadowy world of unethical persuasion. We're going to pull back the curtain on the psychological tricks people use to win arguments, not with facts, but with some pretty sneaky manipulation. You know that feeling, right? I mean, you've got all the facts on your side, you've laid out your logic perfectly, but you still walk away from the conversation feeling completely confused and defeated. It's so frustrating. And chances are, it had nothing to do with your argument at all. And that's the thing. Some people, they're just not interested in a good faith debate. They don't care about finding the truth. They just want to win. And to do that, they've got a whole playbook of psychological tricks up their sleeve. So, let's start by understanding the rules of their game. To defend yourself against these tactics, you have to understand the game they're actually playing. And listen, it's not a game of logic, it's a game of psychological chess. This quote from our source material just nails the mindset, doesn't it? It's a pretty stark reminder that for some people, deception isn't some big moral hurdle to overcome. It's just a strategic advantage. And this is absolutely crucial. We're giving you a shield here, not a sword. The goal isn't to teach you how to be manipulative. It's to help you see these tricks coming, neutralize them, and hopefully steer the conversation back to an honest place. Okay, let's get into the first big one. This one is so common and, it's surprisingly effective. It's all about inventing authority right out of thin air. So you hear this. It sounds pretty convincing, doesn't it? Dr. Eris Thorne, a behavioral economist. It sounds so official. The quote perfectly explains confirmation bias. It seems smart, it seems credible, and it gives the argument a really powerful punch. Except, I totally made him up. The name, the title, the quote, all of it. It's completely fabricated. And that's what's so wild. That's how easy and effective this tactic is. It just preys on our natural human tendency to trust experts. And here's the scary part. The formula is incredibly simple. You just invent a plausible-sounding name, give them a title that fits the topic, and then you write a quote that sounds smart and just happens to support your point. It's a three-step recipe for manufacturing credibility on the spot. So why does this trick work so well? Well, we're psychologically wired to respect authority. It's a mental shortcut, right? It saves us time and effort. So when someone drops a quote from an expert, our brain kind of goes, okay, that sounds legit. The unethical persuader is literally banking on the fact that you're not going to stop the whole conversation to Google a name. All right, on to the next tactic. If you can't win with fake facts, well then you can always try to win by creating a thick, dense fog of pure confusion. See, with this tactic, the goalposts have completely moved. It's not about making a logical point anymore. The whole point is to overwhelm you with complexity, to make you feel like you can't possibly keep up, and to force you to back down simply because you're lost in the weeds. It's about shifting you from feeling confident to feeling full of self-doubt. Just look at the difference here. The honest argument is clear, it's simple. The unethical tactic, it's just a word salad of jargon. It sounds smart, but it's specifically designed to be confusing. The point isn't to add to the conversation, it's to shut it down by making you feel too hesitant to admit you have no idea what they're talking about. So how can you spot this tactic out in the wild? Well, they'll use overly technical jargon when simple words would work just fine. They'll ask super detailed, totally irrelevant questions to send you down a rabbit hole. They'll constantly shift the topic so you can never pin them down. Basically, if a simple issue suddenly feels like you're trying to solve quantum physics, you're probably dealing with a smokescreen. Okay, so we've seen the tricks. Now for the most important part. How do you actually defend yourself against them? It's time to build your own defensive playbook. Honestly, your most powerful weapon is just awareness. Once you know these tactics exist, you'll start spotting them everywhere, from meetings at work to arguments on social media. This knowledge is going to fundamentally change the way you listen and engage in pretty much any debate. And here it is, your practical, go-to cheat sheet. If someone drops a quote from some expert you've never heard of, your move is a simple, calm question. That's interesting. Where's that from? That non-confrontational tone is key. It puts the burden of proof right back on them without escalating things. And if you get hit with that jargon smokescreen, your move is even simpler. Can you explain that in simpler terms? This is brilliant because it flips the script. Now you're not the one who's confused. You're the one demanding clarity. An honest person will try to explain. A manipulator, they'll probably get defensive. At the end of the day, understanding these tactics isn't about becoming more cynical or jaded. It's about becoming a sharper thinker, a better communicator,
It's about protecting the integrity of our conversations. So the real question is, now that you can spot these tricks, how are you going to use this knowledge to help create more honest and productive discussions?